I grew up with a family who has parents that are first-generation Mexican Americans. Both of my grandparents came to the United States in the 1960s. They were all teenagers with Spanish being their first language. When they had my parents, my grandparents did not speak English very well. The way they communicated with my parents was with Spanish. I can say that my parents are very lucky to be bilingual. Although they both say that it is hard having to learn English when going to school and speak Spanish when they were home, they were able to practice both languages. My parents both grew up in Los Angeles, California, and in Los Angeles, almost everyone is bilingual. When my parents had me, they decided to make it easier on themselves and just speak English to me. I love my parents, but I feel that it was a huge mistake they did when raising me and my siblings. Since I do not know Spanish, I feel a cultural difference between my Mexican American culture. I feel because I never learned how to speak Spanish, I never really got to have a strong relationship with my grandparents. It is hard to communicate with people who do not speak the same language as you do. I remember being a child and hearing all my cousins speak Spanish, and it made me feel I was not a part of their culture and that I was different. My family would make jokes about my siblings and I, saying that we were gringos. I felt by not knowing Spanish, I was not a part of the Mexican American culture. However, if I'm not a part of the Mexican American culture, am I then considered white? As a child, it was hard and confusing realizing exactly who I am. I feel that a Mexican American culture has specific guidelines. My family made it feel that speaking both Spanish and English was one of them. My mother's uncle would constantly remind me of the disappointment I had on the family because I did not know Spanish. I feel language has a lot to do with inequality among race, because if you do not fit the specific requirements of that race, do you even feel you're a part of that race? As I got older, I wanted to fit into my family's culture. So, I decided to educate myself on the Spanish language. I took 4 years of Spanish in both middle and high school. When I finally got the urge to speak to my family in Spanish, they shunned me out. If I did not say a word right, they would laugh and joke about me trying. It really bugged me, and it made me feel even more distant. I felt as though I was never going to be good enough to meet those requirements to classify as a true Mexican American. When I attended Whittier College, I was shocked to see that even at a school that is so culturally diverse, I can still feel a sense of not knowing exactly where to classify myself. People assume, because I do not know Spanish, I consider myself white, but that's not the case. Even though I do not speak the proper Spanish that my family feels I need to know, I still feel I am somewhat Mexican American. I will continue to try and learn Spanish to prove to my family that I belong in the culture. And speaking both languages is not a requirement in the Mexican American lifestyle.